What's up, YouTube? G-Man coming at you from Cyberbeggar. We are on episode number 18, and we're back with Mr. Sungenis and Kent Hovind talking about Flat Earth, Flat Wrong, my response to this video. We ended off at 30 minutes yesterday. We're going to pick up just a little bit, right around 30 minutes, and continue discussing the issue. So here we go.
And it would say, and God looks from above and he sees the Kador of the earth, the sphere of the earth. And so they conclude, because he didn't do that, that means the earth is a disk and not a sphere, you see. And that makes logical sense, doesn't it? I mean, if I were a flat earther, I would love that argument. But so what I did is I went into the Hebrew of Isaiah 22:18.
Okay, what he's talking about here is the verse Isaiah 20, I think he said it, 22:18, where it says that God would throw Israel like a ball, and that's what the verse actually says. So he's talking about how you can break the word throw like a ball. You can break that down, take it to the original Hebrew, and the word is kador. Okay, so you can, and he goes on to say, and he's going to say it here in just a second if he hadn't already said it already. He's going to go on to say that kador is actually a two-parter. It's two parts. It's ka and dor. Okay, so the word door, and the word door actually means something that spins or turns or rotates. More like I think he says it's more like a cylinder. Let's see what he has to say.
The Hebrew word door. I looked up all the references to door, and basically what you come out with is that it's not talking about a ball specifically, okay? That's just the best English translation that could be put on the word from that particular translator.
All right, and this happens a lot of times in Scripture. I've heard about this before happening in Scripture. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but in my studies in the past, I have come across this, and they put the best spin on the word, the best translation on it that they can. So, yeah, okay, let's keep going.
Basically, the word kador means something that rolls, okay? So that could be a cylinder, it could be a hoop.
Okay, yeah. So kador means something that rolls, or door means something that rolls. Okay, and I don't mean to interrupt him here, but he's going on to explain it. He's explaining it pretty good.
It could be a disc, or it could be a sphere. We don't know, okay? So what I'm trying to...
He says it could be a cylinder, a hoop, a disc, or a sphere. And it just, the word door is something that rolls, and kador means to toss as something that rolls. So, okay, so let's continue.
Tell them is you can't use that Hebrew word and say it only means a sphere, and then say because God didn't use it in Isaiah 40, that means the earth is not a sphere, you see.
Now, let me just say this right here. The Hebrew translators of the King James Bible, I believe that they were under the inspiration of God whenever they translated His word to English, to the King James Version. And so their choice to use the phrase I'm going to throw you like a ball, and that was 22:18, Isaiah 22:18. I'm going to throw you like a ball. Okay, the choice to use that word was, I believe, under the inspiration of God, translating it into the English language. And they probably were well aware of the fact that it was something that spins. But how often do you throw a hoop? How often do you throw a cylinder? Okay? How often do you throw... Okay, I would like to... You got to get back to the original thinking of the Hebrews when they originally wrote it. What was it that they normally threw? And I believe that the King James writers, I think that the translators, I think that they knew what it was that was originally thrown. And it was a ball. They threw balls. Okay, they didn't throw cylinders. They didn't throw hoops. Okay, they didn't throw, what was the other one? There was the cylinder, hoop, or a something that rolls. Anyways, they didn't. They threw balls, so that's why they wrote, "I will throw thee like a ball." That simple. And he wants to come over here and argue against the original translators and say, "Hey, you know what? The original translators, they just did the best job that they could, and so they came up with ball." No, I think that the original translators knew what normally was being thrown. And what normally was being thrown at the time of the writers who wrote this was balls. So, okay.
As a matter of fact, in one of the passages, I think it's Ezekiel 24, where the word kador is used for a log. Okay? And a log is not a sphere, it's a cylinder. Okay? And a log can roll, as you've seen them fall down from mountains. So, anyway, that's how intricate this whole...
How did they know to put log, the kador, which was used for the log, right there, but it's questionable whenever they, said, "I will throw thee like a ball." How did they know? Context. They knew. I'm not questioning this. Okay, I'm not even going to question it. The original translators knew what they were writing, just because he's telling us that they used a log in one instance and then they used a ball in another instance, that tells me that they knew the difference based on the context, based upon who was writing it, based upon they literally applied the high C technique, hermeneutics, isagogus, exegesis, categories of doctrine, and etymologies. Okay, so they applied the high C technique, and they knew what the difference was between a log and a ball, and they knew where to use it. So let's keep going.
The thing can become, and I hadn't seen anybody else do this with the scripture, go into the intricate details into the Hebrew language and explain it for the flat earthers so that he can come away and say, okay, I was making too much of an argument on those verses and I shouldn't make that conclusion.
That's not entirely accurate. I believe you can make that conclusion, and I believe it's perfectly safe to make that conclusion because of reasons I previously stated. Okay? The writers of the Bible knew when to put kador for a log. They knew when to put throw thee like a ball. Kador for throw thee like a ball. So they knew the difference. They knew what to put, when to put, where. Okay? So it's very clear to me. It just makes sense.
So this is the first book that's done that, and I think that's why it's important.
All right, Dr. Sungenis, how can people get a hold of your book or get in contact with you? And how much is your book if they want to get the book Flat Earth, Flat Wrong?
They can go to www.flatearthflatrong.com. We have 4 choices up there for the book. We have a PDF that we just lowered the price to $10. So anybody Who wants to read 738 pages? It's $10. That's it. Walkway, it's all color pages. Okay? Then we have 3 other choices as well. Let me mention one more thing. There's a big thing made about the corners of the earth.
Okay. We're going to take that up in the next video. G-Man out.